Hey, what's up, Lee? First of all, man, thanks for booking this. Really appreciate it, and some really good questions that you asked there. As far as the best and worst moments in the asylum, man, there's so many good moments that I had there. It's hard to narrow it down. From being able to work with Wolfie D, which was Slash, and Brian Lee. A lot of people know that Wolfie trained me, so it was really cool to be able to work with him on that platform. To like the steel cage match that us and Triple X had, and also America's Most Wanted and the Naturals had. A lot of people leave that match out because they always talk about the Triple X and AMW match, but I always tell people go back and watch the America's Most Wanted and the Naturals tag team match that we had in that steel cage. And it's pretty funny because Chase Stevens goes to climb to the top of the cage to do a moonsault, and when he's climbing up, he hits the jib cam with his head is coming across. And if you ask him the story, he thought that he climbed too far and he was at the ceiling. He thought he hit his head on the ceiling instead of the camera. So just to look at his eyes, because he's looking right at the camera, was actually pretty funny. Another good moment was teaming with Dusty Rhodes. It was always really cool just to hang out with Dusty and listen to his stories that he would tell. And I mean, it was amazing. Anybody that you talk to always says like how cool Dusty was, but to be able to live in that moment and just sit there and just listen to him, it was definitely a dream come true. I wouldn't really call this a worst moment, but it was one of the best and worst moments. I remember after the match with Triple X, I came back and Mr. Perfect was there, and he yelled at me. He's like, "Cowboy, get your ass over here!" And so I went over there, and he just started reaming me out about something that happened in the match. And I really didn't think of it like that, but as I just told him, I said, "Hey man, thank you so much. I really appreciate it," because Mr. Perfect is one of those guys that kind of just took me under his wing, and just he would let me know. It wasn't like a bad lashing, but it was a firm you messed up kind of deal. But and it was something simple as picking the guy up when I should have been pinning the guy, and it was really cool that a guy like Mr. Perfect would take the time out of his day, number one, to help me with that, still being, new to the major, TV scene and stuff. So, and he was always good like that with younger guys. And like I always remember that. And anytime I do a training seminar, I'll always tell the guys that story because I always see those guys doing the same thing that I did, and then I get in trouble for it. But no, it was really cool for that to happen. I didn't really have too many bad moments at the asylum. It was man, it was just fun. It was a fun time. We were a good young group that came in, and a lot of the younger guys that were working together kind of had already worked together under Bill Behrens and a guy named Burt Prentice that was in Nashville. So we knew each other really well. So that was a lot of fun. As far as I would say, like the WCW, WWE guys, I would say at the beginning I thought it was a good idea because you needed names for a new promotion to kind of draw fans in, and then you can kind of get them hooked on the younger guys. And I think that's what happened as well, because you had the younger guys in there like myself and Chris Harris and, Daniels and Low Key and all of us, and then, AJ Styles. And then you had the older guys that were there, as well. And I think without the older names, maybe so many viewers wouldn't have tuned in to find out about the younger guys as well. I just think that as time went on and the younger guys started getting over, and it was a proven fact that people were tuning in more to see these younger guys, I think they could have, not done away with, but maybe kind of limited, the WWE and WCW guys that they brought in, especially, I know around like 2000, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there, they started bringing back a lot of the the older WCW, WWE guys, and that just to me, I thought that the younger guys had it. Like we were pushing the needle, we were doing good on ratings and everything. But nothing to the older guys. Hey, they got to work as well. That's the way I looked at it as well. So I think it was a plus and a minus. Because it took time away from the younger guys that were established themselves or had already established themselves as a household name. But man, it was those Asylum years were some of the best times because afterwards we would just go out and it was me and Chris Harris and a couple other guys. We'd go out with Mr. Perfect and drink downtown, Tootsie's and all these other bars that my buddies ran and stuff. And a lot of memories in those days. And something that at the time you don't think about it, but now you don't forget it. But man, I really appreciate it, Lee. Thank you very much, man, for being a huge fan of mine, man. And especially when I get back over to the UK, man. Hopefully we can link up, man, grab a picture, hell, grab some beers. But anyways, man, hope you have a happy holiday, and here's to a better 2021.